Camelot 331 here, and justice has swiftly been served. Now, I'm a very big conspiracy theorist about this whole situation, but I'm sure you've been following Crackle Barrel's ultimate demise. Self-inflicted, I might add. And though that speaks to me on a personal level, it doesn't on the damn chicken and dumplings level of Crackle Barrel. Look, dude, I'm just putting this out there. I used to go to Crackle Barrel all the damn time, had friends that worked at Crackle Barrel in my teens, loved the damn chicken and dumps, loved everything about it. But lately, the food's got a little bland. Okay, so I haven't went as much as I used to, but the latest news and controversy made me pretty much swear it off. But what exactly is going on? So Crackle Barrel changed their logo, completely removing Uncle Herschel and the damn barrel, which was the whole point. Everything else can die, in my opinion. If I just want the barrel, and I want Uncle Herschel to lead me home to the chicken and dumplings. But apparently that was too much to ask, right? Because we have to drive ourselves further and further away from tradition for some reason in this damn country. But I do digress. Not only that, but the inside decor of the actual restaurants themselves, god awful. It looked like a Dexter kill room. Okay, I don't need that. I want wood paneling and old people stuff. But luckily, Crackle Barrel has just released a statement claiming that they goofed and they are going to reverse some things. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into this, look, dudes, make sure you like this video. I'm going to wait for 5 seconds, let you go like it right now. Go click it. And then don't forget to subscribe, because your view won't count if you don't like or comment, boys. Let's get into the sauce. So you're going to need a little bit of context here, because some news has came out in the last little tiny bit about certain executives being heavily involved in the death, entertainment, and ideology. I don't know. I just made that up. But you know what DEI stands for. But somebody on the board was very involved in that, and some conspiracy started to fly. Now, before we get into this, my thought process on this whole deal is the same as with most things. Miley Cyrus shaving her eyebrows, anything like that, JoJo Siwa, stuff like that is all a marketing and PR push to get negative press, which is still press to get people talking about your business or company. That's what I said with Bud Light, because they immediately hired Shane Gillis after the fact, blew up to new heights. And I think Cracker Barrel is doing the exact same thing here. Shock value, scaring everybody, getting everybody to talk about their business for an entire week, which is worth its weight in gold in virality on the internet. That's kind of what I think. And now they're going to reverse it. But right here, this is going to give you a good layout. It says Crackle Barrel board member under fire for DEI background after restaurant ditches traditional logo. What qualified him? So it says one member of Crackle Barrel's board of directors is catching heat over the DEI heavy background following negative reaction to the company's new logo and redesign. Gilbert Davila, which is definitely a Crackle Barrel name. Sorry, a little bit of that racism came out. It says joined the restaurant change in 2020 and is also amongst its top individual shareholders. Hot diggity damn. Activist takeover, baby. Conservative activist Robbie Starbuck called out Davila in a video criticizing the company's leadership, calling the recent changes the culmination of years-long campaign to cater to the far left and abandon the values of its middle American customer base. And to me, I don't think it's that deep. I think it's more of a PR thing. It says, what qualified him? You see, this board member owned a DEI consulting and strategy firm for 15 years that focused on pushing DEI and DEI advertising. Yeah, well, that makes more sense now. It all makes a little bit more sense now. Starbuck was referring to the DEI Consulting, a firm where Davila has served as president and CEO since 2010. Davila's biography page on Crackle Barrel's website describes the firm as a leading multicultural marketing and diversity and inclusion and strategy firm in the United States. And look, everybody has different opinions of this whole movement and this whole very strange, almost like one government movement for this specific type of advertising, this specific type of way of everything should work. I don't really care for it because I think it's disingenuous. I think for the last 100 years in film and everything else, we've had pretty decent representation and characters were written well and everything kind of served a purpose. And it only got better with time. And I think forcing all of that in really cringe ways just makes everybody piss, right? But they're kind of unrelated. It says consumers have criticized Cracker Barrel after unveiling a new logo that replaced the image of the man leaning on the barrel with just the restaurant's name in black text over a yellow backdrop, which is awful. The chain also redesigned the interior of its own restaurants, ditching the kitschy American aesthetic and replacing it with a slick modern motif, right? And that's because when you see the CEO and, she's like an older white lady with those square rim glasses, for some reason, they love that shit. They love stark white awful, all right? Never get her to design your house because it'll all look the same. Cracker Barrel unveils a new logo. So here's the new logo, by the way. It looks terrible, right? It lacks all soul. We don't need to lack more soul. We already lack all soul already. It says Starbucks said the cosmetic changes are just part of a lurch away from the American values. In his 15-minute video, he notes the company has been active in the LGBTQ pride events and aggressively employed diversity, equity, and inclusion policies and hiring. And I don't really care about, I have no opinion on pride parades, but aggressively employing DEI policies and hiring, it just doesn't really, I don't think it really works. Like, I think on paper it might, but I just don't think it actually works like applicated to the real world. That's kind of my gripe with it. I don't think it really works. I don't think it really benefits. Maybe not the bottom line, and maybe they're not worried about that. DeVille's LinkedIn page states that he is widely recognized for his multicultural marketing knowledge and his proven track record on how to best embed a multicultural perspective into a corporation's entire operation. He sounds like cancer. Multicultural marketing is basically how they changed the name of pyramid schemes to multi-level marketing, right? The MLM is now that's what we call pyramid schemes now. They changed the name to try to get away from the backlash years ago. I feel like multicultural marketing is kind of a way to get away from the DEI branding. People like him are behind the woke advertising push that we've seen in recent years. Prior to his work at DMI, Davila worked at the Walt Disney Company, where he served as vice president of global diversity and multicultural. Man, if they removed DEI, these people would be fucked. His entire life is this stuff. All right, that's whatever, dude. Hey, man, he's carved a path for himself in a weird way, but he did it. So here's Crackle Barrel's response. Make sure you like this video. I'm saying it again. Okay, I'm pressuring you deeply. I'm almost threatening you. This is almost a threat, not quite. So here's their response right here. Okay. It says, our promise to you, customer. Keep in mind, they lost over $100 million in valuation over the last week. Crackle Barrel did. So it says, in the last few days, if it's shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Crackle Barrel. We're truly grateful for your heartfelt voices. And before I finish this, I want you to realize that this is a extremely corporate bullshit response. So don't expect anything groundbreaking. It says, you've shown us that we could do a better job sharing who we are and who will always be. Okay. Look, dude, what do you mean who you are and who you will always be? Everybody on the board have only been there for a couple of years. You're not who you've always been. The thing you should do is uphold the tradition of the people that came before you, right? But that's not the idea. What has changed and what will never change are the values of this company that was built when Crackle Barrel first opened in 1969. Hard work, family, and scratched, cook food made with care. A place where everyone feels at home, no matter where you're from or where you're headed. That's the Crackle Barrel you'll always find. That sounds like the entry to Family Matters or something, like the intro song. The thing people love most about our stores aren't going anywhere. Rocking chairs on the porch, a warm fire and hearth, peg games on the tables, unique treasures in our gift cards, shops, and vintage Americana with antiques pulled straight from our warehouse in Lebanon, Tennessee. Oh, well, it's all good then. Nothing's changing, apparently. We love seeing how much you care about our old timer. We love him too. Uncle Herschel will still be on our menu, on our road signs, and featured in our country store. He's not going anywhere. He is family. So keep in mind the wording here, okay? Because if this is a legit rebrand, they spent millions of dollars doing this. So that being the case, they're not going to just throw that shit away. Okay, so they're going to leave Herschel up on some shit, but there will be a new Crackle Barrel sign on the door or something, or a big Crackle Barrel sign in the parking lot. The wording here is we are not reversing. We are just keeping some elements, right? And I wonder if they mentioned the interior, actually. While our logo and remodels may be making headlines, our bigger focus is right here where it belongs, in the kitchen and on your plate. Yeah. See, they're not gonna go backwards. They're just kind of saying, "Oh, dude, look, we understand what you're saying. We love Herschel as well. We're gonna focus on food, though, bruh. The most important thing." Yeah, okay, good luck. If you don't come out and say we're gonna go completely opposite, they're gonna hate you, right? Serving generous portions of food you crave at fair prices and doing it with the kind of a country hospitality that brightens your days and creates lasting memories. Meatloaf, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak, sides that taste like Sunday supper. Oh, you guys are fucking around. This is so silly. This is such a PR like damage control response. Think about the food. It's like the children with the food, right? Will someone please think about the food that's totally delicious? Don't worry about what we're doing. Worry about the delicious food. Give us your money, please, God. The food is all still here, they're saying. Whether you're a longtime fan or a first-time guest, we want you to feel at home around our table. Mm-hmm. We also want to be sure Crackle Barrel is here for the next generation of families, just as it's been for yours. That means showing up on new platforms and in new ways, but always with heritage in our heart. I doubt that. That's heritage in your heart is definitely the opposite of what they've been preaching the last 2 weeks. Keep in mind, the CEO said everybody loved the changes, and they don't believe the hate online. We take a responsibility very seriously. We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees. Well, whoever greenlit all those designs literally needs to be fired instantaneously. We won't always get it right. Can you at least get it close? Because you were so far away from the mark. At the end of the day, our promise is simple. You'll always find comfort, community, and country hospitality here at Crackle Barrel. Uncle Herschel wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Thank you for caring so much, and come see for yourself. Oh, and come buy food right now, just to know we're not lying. Yeah, it seems like bullshit. It's not. People think in the comment section that they're reversing it, but they're really not. That's the issue. Is the wording there was very, very specific. I think it's all very, very silly. You know, Crackle Barrel has been on its last leg with me for a while. Okay, I got a bone to pick with the Crackle Barrel. And this redesign and refresh just didn't really make much sense to me because there's not many places you can go to get a feel for like that older aesthetic, to get a feel for what things used to be like. I don't know if you guys remember, but it wasn't that long ago. Now, where I'm from in Alabama, when I was 10 years old, every road leading to my driveway was a dirt road for miles. Okay, which is something weird that I realized in my 20s that we didn't even have paved roads where I grew up. You know, we had a old fashioned gas station with those crank pumps. I went down there and got an RC and cola and shit. Like, no joke, man, for 25 cents back in the day when I was a kid. And that is gone. You can almost not find that in rural America undisturbed anymore. And Crackle Barrel almost kind of exemplified that. You know, it kind of was like the last bastion. I know it was a corporate setting, but it was, you know, it was trying, it felt like. And they were like, no, man, it's all good, bye. And yeah, no one's going to appreciate that. What do you think? Please comment down below. Make your view count. Make your voice heard. Get the hell on it, doggone it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.